Okay, this is my video review of the Pitaka luxury wallet. Comes in this nice presentation box, of course inside another box which has a lot of padding in it, very well protected. So you slide the drawer open and there's the actual wallet. Now this arrived from China in about 4 days. They use DHL Express, which is pretty quick, and as you can see there's no scratches. Had it about a month and it still doesn't have any scratches. I put it in the same pocket with my keys. It has a very hard surface and it's pretty hard to scratch. You'll notice here that it says Pitaka in this corner. On the other side there's a P. That's so that you can tell which side is which. Now you may set it up so that this is the top to you, or you can set it up this way. You know, it opens just fine either way. But if you have it set up a certain way, then you know you can look at it pretty quickly, have that Pitaka in that corner, and then when you open it, you know what's going to show. So I think that's a nice touch. I don't know if they intended that, but that's the way it is, and I really like that. My first impression of this wallet is it's just light as a feather. It uses carbon fiber technology along with some aramid technology, which I'm not too sure what that is, but it definitely seems to work well. Now opening it up here, you'll see that you have, this is a configuration that it comes in. You get a top layer, got a bottom layer, and 2 layers in between. Now this top layer and this bottom layer each hold 1 card, and these 2 layers in the middle here, they each hold 2 cards. So if you've got it completely full, it'll look like that. Turn it over this way, you've got 2 cards in each one of these. This has a card on one side, on the inside there. Has that card. And here I have my driver's license on this back side, and I had a $50 bill in there, and that's my emergency cash. Fits in there just fine. I don't know if you can see the little ridges here, very tiny little ridges, and it holds the cards in so that they don't fall out. And I like that. It's a nice touch. So putting it back together there, you can see it's something a little less than a 1/2 inch thick if you have 2 metal layers and then the 2 outside layers. Seems very well crafted, very well made, perfect condition. As I said, I've had it about a month and it's still in perfect condition. I think it'll probably last me forever. Okay, so I'm just going to show you briefly how I use this wallet, and you can decide for yourself how you might use it or get some ideas there. To me, I have the Pitaka there, so this is the front to me. Open it there, there's my MasterCard. That's the one I use the most. Underneath there is another layer with 2 cards, and I don't normally have that layer. I'll show you in a minute why I don't. But if you open it up further, then you've got this back layer here that has 1 card. This layer has 2 cards. This layer has 2 cards. And then, of course, you got that layer. Turn it over, and you can see 1 card here. My driver's license. I had a $50 bill under there for my emergency cash. It fits just fine, never hangs up because the driver's license is pretty thin and it doesn't have any embossing, so you got room to put a bill back in there and hide it if you want to. And of course there's the other 2 cards. So that's basically the way it looks. Now I'll show you how I use it, and maybe you can get some ideas. To me, this is the top. There's my MasterCard, just like that. This layer, this particular one right here, I normally leave it at home. And the reason is because as my blood donor card, it only gets used once every 2 months. Has the Lowe's card there, and I only go in Lowe's every now and then. So that layer usually gets left home. Now, the way I use it is, with this money clip layer, this is important to me. Now this is in beta. The money clip layer, see if I can get you a little better shot of this. So you can see how it's built. Here, the ridge there, this is all smooth, and so the money fits under there, or your receipts fit under there. Show you how that works. I got 3 of them here, 3 receipts. And you just slip them in there like that, and that's the way they fit. Now, the way I use a money clip, and you could put money in there too, of course, but I put my receipts there. Now the way I use it is, I put that money clip layer right there. and put it all back together. So open it up, there's the card I use the most, there's MasterCard, use it, put it back. Okay, then I've got a receipt and I need to do something with that receipt. So I open it up one more slot and there it is. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you can slide it open a little bit to the money clip layer, okay, and then take it apart and slip the front around to the back, and then you sort of got it, it kind of sticks together. That's not the way it's supposed to be, of course, because you know this part is supposed to be here. And you just put it right there, and it sort of holds it together. It fits in your hand nice if you're messing with it in a store or whatever. So then you put your receipts in there, put your dollar bills or whatever back in there, and bring it back around like that, and close it up. And then there you're all protected. So you get home. By the way, if you put a bunch of bills in there, it might snag a little bit when you open it. It doesn't bother me. I open it about like that, and I just take that off. Then you just slide your receipts out or whatever, and put it back together, and you're ready to go for another day. So next time you go back to the store, use your MasterCard, put it back, put your receipts in there, and then you got your other card. This is a debit card that I put in. I keep that with me because when you're at Costco or Winco, they don't take credit cards, of course, and you have to have a debit card. So I keep that, and like I say, this one I usually leave it at home. So if you open it from the other side, it's going to look like that. Now this is the money clip layer, so that's why it looks different. That's the back side of the money clip layer. Here's a card I probably use more than any of them. That's my Home Depot card. And so that one is by the way, I've only had one card erase, and that's been the Lowe's card. And I don't know why that is, because that's the one that I'd use the least. I rarely use it because Lowe's is further away than Home Depot. So it has erased the stripe on that one, and that doesn't really bother me because what I do is just hand the card to the cashier and they just key in the number. So it doesn't bother me. But this MasterCard, this Visa debit card, this Home Depot card, none of these, the stripe works perfectly. And it's been about a month now. I probably opened and closed this thing I don't know how many times. Playing with it and actually using it, a couple hundred, I don't know. So it might never erase your cards. So just to let you know there. To get an idea of how it looks, I'm going to turn it over here. You can see the sides. Okay, I'm not too sure what else I can tell you about it. I'm just real happy with this wallet. I think it's great. I like the versatility. If you want to, I mean, you could leave that layer out and just take these layers. Now you've got a really thin wallet. You could put a couple of cards in there and just stack them up if you wanted, because it's deep enough. And whatever card there, you know, and just use your money clip, your bottom layer, and your top layer. So that's 1, 2 cards, and then whatever you want to stuff in there. If you want to use it that way, and you really want to be thin. But of course, that's not the way I use it. I put that layer there, this layer here, and that layer there, and then that makes it a little bit thicker. And I leave this layer at home usually. If you have to put it in there, it makes it a little fatter, but then you're only going to be using that one day, and then you just take it back out and you know, and don't carry it most of the time. So that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. So have a great day.